chess as a sport has often struggled for equality when it comes to men and women. Men's team get a lot of sponsorship, get a lot of traction, get a lot of money. For the women, they have to play in certain women-only tournaments. That is why in chess, when you look at it, there is the open category and there is the women's category. Now, sport in general, there is a differentiation between men and women. I mean, in tennis, look at it. There is ATP for the men, there's WTA for the women. When you look at cricket, there is women's cricket, there is men's cricket. Technically, there shouldn't be a problem, right? But you've seen in certain sports that there is either a question of pay, women are paid lesser than the men, or there is a question of recognition. Chess comes under the second category, recognition. Because recent comments by Vaishali Rameshbabu and the support that she's gotten from one of the greatest women's chess players of all time suggests that there could be a gender situation developing in chess as far as representation is concerned. Because what did Vaishali Rameshbabu say in one of the interviews that she did recently? Sorry. She said something about women's titles, because there is a GM, there is a WGM, which is a women's grandmaster, there is a women's international master. For the men, it's just the IM. What is this that is Vaishali Rameshbabu has a problem with? Vaishali Rameshbabu stated, women's titles can create false sense of achievement. This can demotivate players and has no value heading into the open category. So even if she's a women grandmaster, but then there in the open category, she still will have a lower chance of representation because she doesn't have the necessary ELO points. FIDE initially did this, men and women, to encourage women participation. Removing women's titles could inspire women to directly compete for the GM norm. So what Vaishali Rameshbabu is suggesting is that do not put us in only women-centric events only. Level the playing field. Let us get into open category. We will challenge stronger for a GM title. That is what Vaishali Rameshbabu believes in. This was echoed by the Queen herself, Judith Polgar. Now, Judith Polgar is one of the greatest women's players for a reason. She beat 11 world champions in her career. Vishwanathan Anand also, recently he paid tribute to her by one game that they played in Dortmund. Judith Polgar broke the glass ceiling, but then she was also taken down in a very brutal way because of that one incident that she had with Garry Kasparov. Because she was a woman, Kasparov was allowed to get away with it. Otherwise, in any other format, he would have been banned for cheating. But Judith was too shocked for that. Judith Polgar also stresses, why do we have women's titles? Titles belong to my rating, not to my gender. It is my knowledge, performance and strength. Deleting women's titles is a simple solution. So what will happen is, there will be no category. Women players will come on the basis of performances in all open category events that have the highest ELO points. It may take a year or 2, 3, 4, but then they will soon ensure that there is good representation for women to even cross the 2,600 or 700 ELO mark. Now, very few players are in the 2,600 ELO mark when it comes to women. When you look at their ages, there is a problem. This is the argument that FIDE CEO Emil Sutowski has given. Emil Sutowski, during the sidelines of the FIDE Monaco event, that's currently going in Nicosia, what he has stated. He highlighted two major things. Emil Sutowski stated, FIDE would deprive many talents of opportunity if he removed the women's titles. A false pretense will arise that women can grow in open tournaments better than by competing in women-only tournaments. He's roasted all those people who are saying that, oh, if you think that you can make it big through the open category, because the open category is far more competitive, then you're mistaken. Emil later goes on to say, it's very easy to have uninformed opinions. You need to rely on data and know how chess and women's chess works. important that there are women-only events and women-only titles. He cited data. The data, actually, when you look at it, the bitter truth lies somewhere in there. The data is, in spite of efforts and increase in prize money, we have biggest gap for 15 years or so. The prize money is increased, no doubt, but the gap remains. If previously we had top female players at age of 15, 16 and 17 reaching 2,500, today we have just a couple of players about 2,400 at the age of 17 and 18. This is highlighted in India. Koneru Hampi is there at 2,500 ELO, but she is on the wrong side of 30. Vantika Agarwal is 21 and is upcoming, but her ELO rating is 2,400. Now what do you do then? By this argument, Emil is right. FIDE is right in that sense. However, FIDE are only partly right. Because for a very long time, women have just not been allowed to progress and showcase their worth in major tournaments. Look at Nona Gaprindashvili, for example. She was the ultimate legend in women's chess, but then she didn't get that much of recognition in the open category. Judith Polgar showed the way that yes, if FIDE gives you an equal platform, at least one or two can challenge the top men's players. Why can't anybody do that? Yes, there is the challenger event wherein women are allowed to play with the men, but then what did I say in that? It's a challenger event, it's not the main event. So that is why when you look at it, FIDE is only partially right. But even Vaishali and Judith are right in the sense that, okay, delete it, delete women's titles, let us get directly into the open category. False pretenses can only be shattered through performance. And that is where I think you may see a bit of a gender war escalate in chess in the near future. Women deserve all the right to go to the top of the chess pyramid. Judith Polgar has shown the way. India is showing the way. One hopes that there can be a neutral ground at this point in time and that this issue can be sorted in the near future. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.